we can get started here a little bit. So,
Cool.
when did you know music was going to be a part of your life?
I don't know. It's a really good question. I mean, it feels kind of cheesy to say always, but like always, I always, for as long as I can remember, was like really into music, like as a listener. I feel like maybe as music being a part of my life, like in a band was a lot later than most people. I like really didn't play. I like at one point in like middle school when I really loved Green Day, convinced my dad to buy me an Ibanez bass at a garage sale, but I wasn't like immediately good at it, so I just quit. like so like everybody does basically, and then like senior year of high school, I some friends like wanted to play some covers at like the high school talent show, so I did that.
Hell yeah! What
Uh,
did y'all play?
we did like the song "Take Me Out" by Franz Ferdinand.
Okay,
Is
that's
that
some cool
song?
bass.
Yeah, I was listening to that song the other day and I was like, wow, I should like relearn this. This rules. We did like that, and I think like maybe a Pearl Jam song. 90s, like, oh, we did a Sublime song. There's the
Yeah.
ska. Yeah. Yeah. And then so I mean that, and I played in that like cover band and thought it was fun. And then we all graduated college and moved away, and then wasn't in a band for like a year. Then we started Gray Matter, and then it's been my actual first band really.
Damn, that's badass. I've been listening to y'all a lot, and I saw like a live show, like a basement, or like I
Yeah,
think
the basement. That's like a radio show on the Michigan State
yeah, dude, that's
radio.
super solid. It's crazy. Like I wish I would have found y'all earlier too, because you combine so many like elements of music and like just ska's like the heartbeat of it, but you can hear everything else.
Great,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, yeah. Well, I guess we'll just skip ahead a little bit since we were talking about Gray Matter. But like, so you started that band?
Kind of. It was so originally we were a five piece, and we were just gonna be kind of like a hardcore band because I was like I kind of like so basically what had happened was Mac sings in Gray Matter and plays guitar on the records, and Nick plays drums. I like knew those two from their high school bands because there was like a lot of high school bands around, and both of their bands kind of broke up at the same time. And I like lied a little bit and was like, "Hey, I play bass. Let's start this like band together." And then I like showed up for like our first like band practice with those two and was just like, "All right, I have this bass. What what should I play?" And I just remember Mac being like, "Okay." And then like through that, we started writing songs. What was the question? I feel like I lost the question.
No, it's okay. Just how y'all started.
Oh yeah, just that. Just everybody's high school band kind of broke up at the same time.
Yeah, and so like I was listening to a little bit of your stuff on Bandcamp, and y'all had like a keyboard and stuff when you first started.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just the
Uh,
hardcore vibes, kind of.
yeah, the keyboard player, our old keyboard player Will, was in Mac's band before also, and Will played violin in that band. And it was just like there were like a lot of local hardcore bands that we liked and kind of wanted to sound like, but then also didn't want to sound just like. And I think at first because the keyboard was kind of like the solution for that. And then we kind of branched into ska from there eventually, I think.
Yeah, what was I guess like what was your like why did you go towards ska from the hardcore kind of beginnings?
I think that a lot of it initially was Mac because he uh like I liked like Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish and kind of like a lot of the like third wave stuff.
Mhm.
And he was the one that was like, check this band out and show me like show me like Fatter Than Albert and A Billion Ernies and bands like that. Oops, just opened something on my computer. Um, so I think that Mac was the one that like, especially back then when like it was Mac and Nick writing a lot of the music. Mac would be the one that would just throw upstrokes into something, and like that just started happening kind of more and more. And I remember being at a practice and being like, I think that we should like call our band like a ska band. and I think Nick didn't want to because we were like going by experimental hardcore for a long time.
Hmm.
And then like if I just started calling our band a ska band, and if you say it enough, it sticks, and it's just now we are a ska band.
Hell yeah. So when did you like start incorporating like ska bass, or were you kind of like learning or practicing that on the side?
So it's funny. I like played bass. I had a bass, and like the whole genesis of this band has just been me learning how to play bass. Basically, like if you go back and listen to the older recordings, a lot like the first like 3 or 4 releases we did, like Nick and Mac wrote all the bass lines because they were teaching me how to play bass. And that was like how I got good. I got good enough to play like ska bass. Was that like Mac and Nick would just keep writing parts that were too hard for me, so I would like learn these harder and harder parts, and then I was better at it.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's a way to learn, way to practice. So when did your love for ska music, or when did you just start becoming like a fan of ska music?
I've really loved it for a long time. My dad really likes like the specials. I remember listening to a lot of the specials growing up. And then like one of my best friends growing up, her like cousin by marriage was Chris from Less Than Jake. So that was like she was just like, check this band out on MySpace or whatever. So I did, and I like liked that, and I just like listened to it because it was like what was around. So like for a long time, yeah, I've always really loved ska.
Oh yeah, that's real cool. My dad really liked like weird music for some reason, like industrial music and whatever. But
Hmm,
for whatever reason, he had Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and
nice,
like I just was hearing that, and my mom really like No Doubt. So I
nice.
think early on, like Tragic Kingdom, No Doubt, and stuff was embedded in my brain. But
Yeah,
just kind of like you, I had like a hardcore, or it was more metalcore, I guess. However, whatever core I was in town, and then it's like I just want to play ska music.
yeah.
It's
We in the little scene that we came up in, there was like so much metalcore. I like in like high school, I like liked ska and hardcore, but like if you wanted to go to a show, you just had to go see metalcore.
Yeah, I mean it's that way here still. We just like a bunch of metal bands. There's
Mm,
like maybe like 10-ish ska bands, but like all of the members that are in my band are also in those other ska bands. So it's just like you're
yep.
gonna go see a show with like half of the members from this band that are also the half from that or whatever.
Yeah,
But
it's around here now. Instead of all metalcore bands, it's all emo bands, which it's better, I guess.
how are like what's the music scene like now, like during this pandemic? Do y'all still have venues that have shows or no?
Not anything that I've seen, thankfully. I feel like right when the quarantine hit, there was like a lot of people doing the live stream thing. It seems like that's maybe slowed down. I also kind of deleted my Facebook right at the beginning of stuff, so I might just be missing a lot of that stuff. But yeah, since quarantine happened, not a whole lot going on around here, which I think is kind of nice. I don't know. I mean, it's like I miss stuff, but also I wouldn't go to a show right now. So
Yeah, I feel the exact same. Like one of the first shows that I've seen was this past Saturday. Some venue had a show, but it was like table like seating only, like it was kind of like a restaurant, or they wanted
yeah,
to make it like a restaurant feel but still a show. But it's still like pretty dangerous right now, I think.
yeah. Michigan also has had throughout this, less so lately, but pretty strong like state mandates about like capacity and stuff. Um, I know that they're at least in Lansing, most of the venues here. I mean, there's one closed because of COVID, so the 2 venues that are left here are both small and cool. Um, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, dude. And today our Texas governor
Oh,
said
everything's
that
open again. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
next
it
Wednesday.
sucks.
So if you're listening to this on March 10th, Texas is going at 100% capacity, no mask required. It's absolutely terrible. Um,
Yeah, it's a very. I'm sorry. It's very
yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah. I mean, I think it's just really up to people to wear your mask and do your part. You can still, just because there's no mandate doesn't mean you don't have to wear it or you can't wear it or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh, anyways, enough of that kind of stuff. So it's been about a year since y'all released Climbing Out.
Yeah, we actually released it the day that Michigan shut down, March
Yeah.
13th. I'll never forget it.
How do you feel about that album? Like, how was the recording process?
It was really fun to record. It felt really good. I was kind of worried about it. I feel like going into that record, I specifically was I was playing in another emo band, and was like real busy. So going into it was pretty stressful, but actually getting through it was great and easy. We recorded with Rick Johnson from Mustard Plug.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and we have done our last few things that we recorded with Rick, and like, I mean, at this point, we're friends with Rick. Rick knows how to make our band sound good, so it's just easy to record.
When y'all are writing like music like that, what's kind of your thought process? Like, how are you incorporating these other styles into your songs?
It always starts out kind of usually like probably like 70% of the time. It'll start with an idea either from Nick or Mac. Those two are still the primary songwriters, I would say. Every once in a while, I'll have an idea, and it's all right. But those two are really like. I feel really lucky to be in a band with those two because I think that they are both kind of geniuses. But like Mac will come in with an idea, and it's really fun to watch those two because like Nick went and has like a degree in music, like a percussion degree, I think, from Central Michigan. So it's like really fun to watch those two figure stuff out, and then I get to just sit there and be like, "What if we just add like a crazy breakdown right here?" And then it's like everybody laughs, and then we try it, and then it's on the record.
Hell yeah. Is there any song in particular that sticks out where you had a saying like that?
Yeah, the I got back from a tour from that with that emo band that I was in.
Hmm.
They were called If Only. I still love those guys.
Hell yeah.
Uh, and like Nick and Mac had been writing, and it was the song that became Greet Death. And there's the part in that song where that riff, like that intro riff, was just at the beginning, and I got back and like Mac, I think that was like in that song one time at the beginning, and I was like, "Yo, we have to like do this a million times and put it back at the end." That riff is like so good,
Hell
uh,
yeah.
and now it's how it is on the record.
That's badass. I love, just writing in general, but also being spontaneous at a studio. So I know Bad Time Records helped put that out. How did that happen?
So our trombone player, Kenny, they joined pretty soon after we had got the masters back for the new record, and we were like kind of unsure what we were gonna do. We like got those masters back and then did like a West Coast tour, and we met uh, Tommy and Fern from No Time Records, and like we're talking about maybe doing it there, and we were talking about doing it with Mike because Kenny knew Mike because Kenny was in like a Billion Ernie's and like a bunch of like a million other ska bands playing trombone. So like it just ended up working out with Bad Time, and it's been great. Mike's been so great.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think right now, Bad Time probably. I think a lot of the newer ska bands like are on Bad Time. Like Bad Time's the place to go for new ska music.
Oh,
Uh,
definitely, and it's been great. I mean, it's been great for us. I feel like had we like put that record out ourselves, which was like kind of how it was starting to look like it was gonna go, I feel like we would have really had a bad time. No pun intended.
well, I'm glad it went through with Bad Time. It seems to be looking pretty cool. The music again just sounds so great and phenomenal. Like I wish we could have played with y'all. But when it opens up and Texas is back, like I can get you for sure and
Yeah, see you on the
around.
10th, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I just got a week. Y'all can come through. It's 100%.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. No, that'll be fun. But what do you think about like ska music today? What's your just take on it?
I think it's like a really exciting time to be a person that likes ska. As because I mean I play in a ska band and I also like really love the genre. Uh, and there's just like I feel like it's never really been this exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I d-
This
I agree for sure about that.
yeah, there's we're not the only ska band in Lansing anymore, which is like
Yeah.
incredible.
I was talking to Ben from Big D and the Kids Table, and I kind of asked him the same question, and he said that arguably he thinks that there are more ska fans now than there has ever been. Like, how do you
Yeah,
feel about that?
I watched that interview. It's very good. I think that that could be. I see what he means. I think it's like hard to like because I think that there are like probably more people that like love ska now than there were during the third wave or whatever versus like then I'm sure there were more people that knew what ska was then. But it feels like now like if you like listen to ska now, you fucking love ska.
I would definitely agree. I think ska even like has its own kind of little niche like on social media and stuff. I think Ska Tune Network
Mhm.
definitely helped bring that. Like I love their work.
Jeremy like posts about our band on Twitter and we get like 20 to 50 followers every time.
That's amazing. It's so wild that like Jeremy is like a ska influencer in a in a way, and it's so great. It's so great because it just brings people up into new, to find new bands. Same thing with being like on social media and stuff. You have your ska or nah Twitter
Yes.
Twitter handle. How did you come about that?
It started as kind of a joke. I for a long time just on my Twitter, I was trying to get Rivers Cuomo to admit if he liked ska or not, because there's this like live solo record he did at a record store in like 2007 or something. And they do a ska version of Buddy Holly in it. But at the beginning of it, he said, "Let's do a ska version of Buddy Holly. How does ska go?" And then like the whole thing for that show is that like everybody at the show in the record store brought an instrument, so it's like 100 people all playing like acoustic guitar and stuff. And I always thought that was really funny, so I kept asking him on Twitter. And then we were on tour one time with a band from Michigan called Get Tall, and the Ryan from Get Tall made like a bot Twitter account that like it's like once or twice a day tweets at Rivers and asks if he likes ska. And he's never responded. But so that I've been doing that for like a couple years, kind of just on and off as a joke or whatever. Just ask somebody famous if they like ska on Twitter. And then one time after band practice, we were at like the house we practice at watching Jeopardy. And I tweeted at Ken Jennings and asked. I like tweeted and I was like, "Does anybody on here know how to get a hold of at Ken Jennings? I have a really important question." And he replied and he's like, "I know how to get a hold of him." And I was like, "All right, do you like ska?" And then he replied, uh, "Capital no, it's really bad."
Damn.
I know. And I was like, "All right, well, I just got fucking dunked on by Ken Jennings. So I'm gonna go make a different Twitter account so this at least isn't happening to like my face on Twitter." And that was when that night I made that ska account.
Man, I would see your account just pop up like randomly. I hadn't been following, I just saw it, and I know recently I saw the Xbox One with Master Chief.
That
Master
was
Chief like Scott.
yeah, that one was one of the funniest ones I think.
Yeah, that was super great. Or what are some of your other favorite like responses?
I do really think now knowing because Ken Jennings sucks. He's like not funny, bad dude on Twitter, whatever. So it's really funny that he said no because he's one of the only people that said no. So that always makes me laugh that he said no. A different guy from Jeopardy, whose name is Buzzy Cohen, said yes. So I feel happy about that. Like somebody on Jeopardy likes ska. Elvis Costello a couple days
Oh,
ago.
I saw that.
So that one is really funny to me because I asked him, I like tweeted at him and asked him, and for whatever reason, like he instead of replying to my tweet asking him, he replied to the pinned tweet that was the Xbox tweet.
Yes, I saw that too. I was like,
So it
man.
just looks like on Twitter for no reason Elvis Costello replying to Xbox with that video of it was like the Scatolites or something.
Yeah, yeah, that's hilarious. Like someone show him how to use Twitter.
I know.
um, just a side note, so my band, Young Costello, we kind of took it from Elvis Costello a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Our first name was gonna be Young Fonzarelli, but that sounds kind of weird, so we went with Costello. Um,
Both honestly, both are good.
yeah, yeah, I'm happy. I think I'm happy we stuck with Costello because it's a little easier and
Yeah, I get that.
oh, I saw Big E
Yeah, that
responded to
was
you.
that was really cool. I'd asked Biggie a lot of times. Like I think maybe more than anybody else, just because he seemed like he would reply. And then like I tweeted about it, and then somebody else retweeted it and added him, and they like he replied to that tweet, and I was like, oh, all right, sure.
Yeah. Um, so do you like wrestling? Are you a wrestling fan?
I did a lot growing up, and then like I have a brother that's like 9 years older than me, and my brother really liked wrestling growing up too. We lived together for a couple years, so I watched Raw like and SmackDown every week, probably for about 2.5 years, from like 2013 to 2015. But I haven't really watched since.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
I
so
know you
I really loved it growing up, but I have not kept up much.
like DX and The Rock and stuff.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, I have over here Stone Cold Steve Austin bobblehead up there.
Hell yeah. The Texas Rattlesnake.
Yeah,
Um,
Bionic Redneck.
good. Those nicknames, man. Um, so your shirts, your Scott Suck shirts, where did those come from?
Well, so I had like joked about it on Twitter a little bit. I did a poll just trying to like see what people would think was funny. And then I fucked up a form on my unemployment this year, like for the last extension. And so the state government was asking for all of the money I got back, which was $17,370.39.
Oh,
Which thankfully I called last week and was on the phone for like 4 hours and like got it mostly sorted out. It still is like the website still says that I owe that money, but like I had to like file a protest. This is boring. Whatever. I don't actually owe the government that much money, but until that gets processed, I won't get any more unemployment payments. And I've been laid off because of COVID. So I was like, all right, well, people thought that dumb shirt idea I had was funny. So like, gonna sell some shirts to make some money, I guess, because we had done like a run of Gray Matter shirts just for something to kind of do, and they
yeah,
sold pretty well. So I was like, all right, I could do that again, but that money gets split 7 ways if we decide to do that. So
yeah. The
the
Scott
shirts for
band.
my right, I'll make shirts for my dumb Twitter brand.
Hell yeah. I had to get one. I'm stoked for it. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm excited with how they turned out. I think that we might do. I keep saying we because I'm so used to like being in a band and like talking about band stuff. I'll probably do another one in a couple months too. I figure every like 3 or 4 months I might drop like a new funny shirt.
hell yeah. That's gonna be awesome. So let's talk about I guess some gear. I see
Hmm.
your bass in the background. Or is
What was
that
that?
I see your bass in the background? Is that the one you
Yes.
posted earlier?
Yeah. That's my P bass that has a jazz bass neck and is like it started life as one of those like Fender 50s reissue P basses.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sunburst. And then I had a friend paint it black, and I put quarter pounders on it, and then I put one of those like not badass bridges, but like the same thing, basically the off-brand ones.
Mm-hmm.
and then I got a jazz bass neck for it, and it's basically unrecognizable, but it's like the same wood in the same pots, but it's great. Now it's perfect. I love it.
Yeah, it's sick. Is that setup the setup you used on the album?
No, because I like for this record I used a kind of a different tone than usual.
Mhm.
In the past, I had just used fuzz, like a fuzz pedal. I used a clone of a Green Russian Big Muff, I think, on everything before, and that's fine. I like the way it sounded. I don't think it was always maybe the best thing for our band, but I think as somebody that like started playing bass in this band, I like kind of hid behind that a little bit, and I didn't want to do that. So when we recorded this record, I had like showed up with that, but like when it came time, I was kind of like, well, I've been listening to a lot of this band called No Means No, and the bass tone on that record is really good. So I was talking to Rick about it, and he's like, well, I have this Rusty Box preamp, we can try this. So I ended up using that, and instead of my bass, I played Rick's. Like, I think it also was like one of the '50s reissues, but I think is maybe made in America. I'm not sure the difference. I use it because it had like fresher strings on it than mine.
Yeah.
But I used that into the Rusty Box into my acoustic 370.
Okay, hell yeah. So you use did you also do like a direct in, or you just mic'd up the amp?
Mic the amps, yeah, because I have a. It's like kind of in the background over there. I have an acoustic 370, and then I have like the matching. That's in the closet back there. I have like the matching huge 118 cab, and I like use that. It's like so ridiculously loud that I've like played that head with the matching cab like 2 times ever. One of which was like the time that we like played an MSU like radio show at like an arena, and it was still like kind of too loud past two. Uh yeah, it sounds really good on that record. I don't think I'm going to use it again on a record just because uh
You, you
kind of
said
impractical.
you said it was 118?
Yeah, it's like this 118, and it's got like a grill on the top and the bottom, and the speaker faces backwards in it, and so it's like a folded horn thing at the top and the bottom.
Oh man. I'm not sure if I've seen that, but that sounds pretty insane.
Yeah, it's really loud. Sounds good, but it's incredibly loud.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that sounds fun. So what have y'all been doing as far as like writing music during this pandemic?
Until about 2 weeks ago, absolutely nothing. We like had our last band practice, and we're like, wow, this is pretty crazy, huh? And then like everything shut down, and he's like didn't practice because like our trombone player is a teacher, and like Mac lives with his parents, so we were like trying to be careful because like I mean like it's just not, it wasn't worth it for us to get sick, even if like everybody was only going to work and seeing each other. Like for a long time the rule was like gatherings of people 10 or less,
Mhm.
and there are 7 people in our band, and then 4 other people that live in the house where we practice. So it's like we couldn't even have practice. And also, like, I didn't really want to have practice in a basement where 3 people are like blowing into horns, and one person is like screaming in like an unventilated basement in like 100-year-old house. Uh, and we had never really done the remote thing, so we were just like, well, we just put a record out. I guess we'll just cool it for now. And then as more time gets by or goes by, it is becoming more and more obvious that this is going to be a longer and longer thing. We finally were like, all right, well, let's start recording some riffs. And that's, we have like one song that kind of exists, and then like a bunch of just riffs basically in the Google Drive.
Yeah. So do all of you have like your own recording stuff?
Yeah, to various degrees. I think we all about have the same. Everybody's got like one of these Focusrite things
Yeah.
basically. Nick has like a nicer setup because they record bands, but I I just started going to our local community college for recording. So it's like I've just been like learning how. So I feel like every once in a while I send like a new demo that sounds a little bit better because I learned something new in class.
Dad, hell yeah, that's badass. Is there any way you can like listen to that? Are you putting anything up like online? It's just kind of just private right now.
Private for now. I don't know what we'll do if this is going to prove to just be kind of demo ideas. I like the idea of just doing another record. We haven't super talked about it, but I think it'd be kind of fun if I mean, depending on how long it is before shows come back, if it's in 6 months, maybe hanging back a little bit because we never even got to play like the release show for Climbing Out, and I thought it would be kind of fun to like wait till it's safe because right now, one of us is vaccinated out of the like 6 or 7 other people. So once we get that taken care of, I think rather than like going back to playing a bunch of shows, it might be in our best interest to kind of write out this next record, record another record, and then play like a dual release show.
Hell yeah.
Right. Or we might, if COVID is so long that it's not like feasible for us to go and record, we might try to make this demo the best we can remotely and release a single. I don't know. There's so much.
Yeah. It's so wild too. Like we're just in the state where like your band does have recording stuff. Like we can still be productive at home without meeting. Technology is crazy.
I know, right?
So that's cool. You're going to school. And so you're going for recording. Like that's your.
Yeah, there our community college in Lansing passed this like cool ordinance thing that makes it so if you're over 25 and live in the city without a degree, the community college is like free.
What?
Yeah, so I've just been going because like it's free now.
Yeah, that's sick. So like I guess what's just like a takeaway so far you've got from recording class? For someone who's like just trying to get into it.
Recording class, I don't know if I have like a single takeaway. It's been really interesting because like a lot of my music knowledge has been really like DIY things that I've been told and just picked up from playing in bands. So like it's really fun to like get to something that I know but don't necessarily know why and like finding out that connecting point to like why something is that way. As for my actual recording class, because I have a theory class also that I'm in, and I don't know any theory before this, so this is all new. But like the actual recording class isn't too far along. I just the way they're like, I think using Ableton because it's both Mac and PC,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not giving us licenses, so we were kind of going as far as we can in the semester before everybody downloaded the 90-day trial. So I just got the trial. So I'm looking forward to getting better at Ableton.
Yeah, yeah, man, Ableton's sick. You can do a lot of stuff with that. That's cool. That's cool. I'm stoked for you to continue learning. Do I see tapes in the background? Do you have a tape
Oh
collection?
yeah, yeah. I have a decent tape collection. I have a bunch of records over here too. For like a brief time, a couple years ago, I was putting tapes out. Um, Not really my thing though, so I stopped doing it.
Yeah, like kind of like a distribution type deal.
I was just like making tapes for friends' bands. I did like 2 Gray Matter tapes and then like 2 tapes by 2 local bands that broke up 4 years ago. And then that was it.
Cool. Hell yeah, man. Well, where can people listen to Gray Matter?
It's on Spotify or Bandcamp, whichever. I put it on SoulSeek, so if you download music illegally for free, it's on there too.
Hell yeah. What is it? Soulseek?
Yeah, yeah, it's like the last peer-to-peer thing that's left.
Man, I've never even heard of that, but I'm gonna check it out and see what I
It's
can
pretty
get.
cool. A lot of stuff on there. Buy your music though, I guess is what I would say to people.
Yeah, for sure. So where do you have like merch and stuff available?
We don't have any merch right now. We the Skyarna shirts are up on Skyarna.limited run. Those will be up probably for another week, so I'm not sure when this goes, but follow Skyarna. There'll be more shirts to come.
Hell yeah. And where can people learn more about you?
Oh, I'm on Twitter. I guess that's probably the best place at JKMTTR. That's my Instagram too. If you want to follow me, but that's all just pictures of my dog. You can follow Ska or Nah also at Ska or Nah on Twitter, not on Instagram though, or at Gray Matter MI and everything. That yeah, we have the worst band name ever, so it's always got the state after it.
Yeah. So Gray Matter, am I right?
Yeah, with an
Uh,
E. Gray Matter with an EMI.
uh, got you. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really had fun talking to you. And yeah, I just have a good day, dude.
Yeah, same. Well, hopefully someday we can hang out.
Yeah, for sure. Later, man.
See ya.